guess my baby brother has arrived. I have a sister too. What's your baby brother's name? His name's Caleb, and he's so tiny. My sister used to be tiny too, but he's a lot bigger now. Well, I think Caleb has a birthday every week because my parents say he's about 6 weeks old. Caleb. I know a Caleb in the Bible. Yes, I know Caleb was one of the spies who went to check out the Promised Land. You're right. And Caleb and Joshua were the only two men who were with Moses who were allowed to enter the Promised Land. Oh really? I didn't know that part. Let's watch this documentary of Caleb. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with our special guest, Caleb. Caleb, how did you become a hero for your people?
I was just an ordinary Israelite. Then Moses chose me to be a spy.
Wow, spies? Tell us about the spies trip.
We spent 40 days searching the land, and oh yes, it was very fruitful. There were grapes and pomegranates and figs.
I heard that the fruit you guys brought was unbelievable.
Yes, it took 2 of us to carry a bunch of those grapes.
Wow, it sure sounds perfect.
It was fertile and beautiful. The land was flowing with milk and honey. But the people who lived on the land were giants. They were so big. We were like grasshoppers to them.
Wow, grasshoppers? So what did you do?
We went back and reported to Moses about everything we saw. We shared the fruits and told them all about the giants.
I read in the Bible that you wanted to go and conquer the giants. Is that really true?
Yes, it was ready, and Joshua was too, because I knew we were able to overcome our enemies.
Your life sounds so exciting. Tell us what happened next.
Nothing happened. The other spies were scared, and the people listened to them, not us. What I thought would be our greatest triumph turned out to be my greatest disappointment. Instead of going to fight the enemy, our own people threw stones at us, and so we had to give up on our plan.
Oh, that is a pity.
Things got even worse. For being cowardly, God punished us by making us all wander in the desert for all of 40 years, living in tents. We wasted so much time.
In that 40 years journey, did you ever feel like just giving up?
Many times, but I also realized that I could not give up. God was caring for his people, and he was leading us. Moses did not give up, and when Joshua took over as leader, he didn't give up either.
I heard that there were some interesting miracles during those 40 years.
Oh yes, indeed. I could tell you stories for days. We journeyed through the wilderness for 40 years without our clothes or sandals wearing out. One time we were thirsty, and Moses struck a rock with his rod, and water poured out. Another time we were...
Wait, what? Back up. Did you say 40 years in the same clothes? I hope you all took a shower in the water that came from the rocks. Tell me, if you had choose your most memorable event of those years, what could it be?
It was all very memorable. Those are all experiences I've been sharing with my family for generations. But if I had to choose one, I think it would be the Battle of Jericho. We got to see the walls of Jericho fall, just as God told us He would, and all we had to do was make some noise. Finally, we got near to the Promised Land.
By the time you got there, you must have been quite an old man.
Yes, and all the other spies had died. Moses had died too. Only Joshua and I lived to see the Promised Land again. And guess what? The giants were still there. At 85 years old, I still had to fight. Somehow, I knew that God would help me. And I asked Joshua to let me drive them out. God blessed my hand, and I defeated 3 giants.
Amazing! Look at those muscles. Tell me, what it worth it all those years of walking and wandering?
Yes, certainly. The mountain of Hebron became my inheritance for generations until this day, and my pride and joy was when my daughter asked me to give her a blessing. I was able to give her land with springs of water. I can testify that Israel's God is like no other. We worship the God who made heaven and earth, and we are His chosen people. All we have to do is trust Him, and He will deliver His promises.
Wow, Caleb really is a special name. I hope my brother will grow up to be just as brave and strong. I do too.